You know, as an actor, I mean, you can work your whole life and never have an experience as rich as this. Am I overstating?
No, we all knew. You know, I mean, you knew from day one that we were a part of something special, something that was going to have historical significance. And when we wrapped, Tom Hanks took us around back of the church where we had the last scene, along with Captain Dale Dye, the military advisor, and he said, "Look, you know, a generation from now, people are going to, you know, come up to you and say, what was it like to be a part of that film? You know, we had such a sense that we were a part of something that's bigger than us in the movie business." I mean, I don't know if that's overstating it, but that's kind of how we felt. So I can't imagine I'll ever have an experience that could duplicate this.
You know, I have movie-going experiences. I see 350 films a year, and I really just review films and interview every once in a while. And I really do my job for films like this because in its complex simplicity, in the making of the film, it's a very simple concept, and it has so much dignity to it that I leave wanting to thank all of my parents and grandparents who fought in that war.
Well, we were saying, you know, I mean, a great thing we got was, you know, mentioned Captain Dale Dye before. Before we started shooting, when we were at boot camp, he said, "Look, you guys represent my fraternity, you know, the fraternity of soldiers, and you represent everyone that has died for this country, and everyone, more importantly, that died on the beach on June 6th. And he said, "I'm not going to let you disgrace their honor. You guys are going to be soldiers, and you're going to do the right thing by them." And that was a real eye-opener for us. And from that point on, I think all of us said, you know, we really have a responsibility here to do the right thing by all of those men.
You know, it's really interesting. You can be as earnest as you want to be and still make a bad film. But there's a difference here. What's the difference?
I'm going to say I think Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. And, you know, they care so much. Cared so much about this material. Just watching them on the set, you know, I learned so much as an actor and a filmmaker, or as anyone who's part of the filmmaking process. They're uncompromising. They never give up. They always want to make sure, is this the best way we can do it? And is this honest? Is this accurate? Are we being truthful? That was the most important thing that was being said on the set.
I want to vicariously live through you for a minute, but the opening scene where you get off the boat is a defining moment in history, especially in war history. But as an actor, what was that like?
You know, my character, my stuff was picked up. I didn't actually jump off the boat, so I didn't have that moment, except when we did training, we had to do it. So I can only speak of, you know, sort of the walk, or, you know, it really was a walk across the beach, which was one thing that I found strange from the research, is they said when guys got off the Higgins boats and actually got onto the sand, nobody ran. There was such a sense of shock that these guys had that they just kind of walked towards the bluff there. For me, you know, you got some sense, I think, of what it may have been like. And there's no way for anyone who never served during wartime to know how horrific and frightening that must be. But, you know, you would do those scenes and you're firing your weapon, which is very loud. There are explosions going off. There's blood all over the place. Stuntman is flying by. Your arms are flying by. You know, explosions are going off and you're getting hit in the face with stuff. So you definitely forget that you're on a movie set and you are scared. And you don't think you're in a war, but you're scared. So and your blood is pumping and the adrenaline is going. So that's as close as I think any of us got. You know, we experienced some kind of fear, and there was no real life threat. So you know, we can never know. No movie, either acting or watching experience is going to, you know, touch on how horrific that must be.
I'm really proud of you.
Thanks.
Nice job.
Thank you, man.
Very nice. Thanks.
Good to see you.